I've been modifying my 2020 V6 Ram Warlock to be an overland vehicle. Basically, I want to be able to get to remote places just like this with my family and go camping and enjoy the outdoors, but still have a really cool rig. So far, I've added the Ram Sport Hood. I've added the Ram bar with the off-road lights on top. I have added a 3-2 leveling kit, even though you can't really tell because of where I'm parked right now. Bigger wheels and 35-inch tires. All right, now that the Ram looks badass, I actually want to get a little more horsepower out of that Pentastar V6. Now with all of my OEM plus vehicles, I stick to a simple formula that's replacing intake and exhaust. Now the Pentastar V6 does a really good job at moving these 35-inch tires. I think my fuel mileage did go down quite a bit. I was averaging about 20 miles to the gallon. Now I'm at 15.7, and that's mostly highway driving. So I'm not concerned that it can't move the bigger wheels and tires. What I am concerned about is once I get all my camping equipment in here, the family, the food, all the added extra weight, and we get on some of these siltier or looser trails, that it's gonna need just a little help, some more power to move everything and all the weight. Because trail riding just like this, it does it no issue. I'm actually riding the brake more than anything because the truck is just kind of carrying itself. Now recently, K&N just released their next gen cold air intake system, and I couldn't help myself, so I got my hands on one for the V6 Overland build. I did start to unbox it, but I decided to stop to show you guys what's inside. All right guys, here's the box. It is part number 50-1564 if you're looking to get one yourself. So let's go ahead and start unwrapping this bad boy. All right, first thing you're gonna notice is the big air box. Let's go ahead and just pull this out. God, that is a huge air box. And then we've got packing paper, a little ASMR action going on here. Install instructions, some hardware, and that looks to be the filter. All right, awesome. So let me finish. Honestly, look how simple this is. And this is what attracted me to Next Gen, was the simplicity of installing this and getting quick horsepower. All right guys, here I have the whole Next Gen cold air intake system laid out, and the first piece here is going to be the Next Gen air intake box. Now I'm saying Next Gen a lot because I don't want you to confuse it with the old one. Now I really like this box because it is freaking sturdy. This is tough, and I like how the K&N logos are in here nice and smooth, but the rest of the box is textured, kind of like my front bumper that I Raptor lined. And the intake tube is exactly the same too. And as you can see, when you install it, you're going to be able to see that K&N logo front and center. So I feel like they took their time to really design a piece that's not just functional, but also looks good under the hood. Now, before I move on, you might notice that this box has like 3 holes in it, right? So the factory intake has a fender well intake right here. So they made that piece right there. So it fits right into the factory spot. I like that. And they also didn't completely block off the intake box. You can see the top of it here is open to allow more air to go in. All right, this hole on the side over here is actually where the air filter is going to go into, and then you're going to connect the intake tube. Now this is called a large diameter tube because it's not just a big air filter and then a small tube inlet. The tube on this end that connects to the filter is actually almost just as big, and then over here on this end is where it's going to connect to your throttle body. All right, now one of my favorite parts of this whole kit is going to be the iconic air filter, because K&N is known for their red air filters. You got the K&N logo in the front right there. These pieces feel like a silicone. It comes with a hose clamp as well, but installing this is going to be even easier because this year K&N and their Next Gen have something called quick lock technology. That's why this box is so simple, because installing this is going to be probably faster than this video. Now another really cool feature for Next Gen is going to be the orange and red stripes. If you haven't seen it installed yet, it looks really cool. So you just take your filter and you slide these on top of one of the fins. Let me orient my filter, yep, this way, so it'll be orange on top and red on bottom, and it looks freaking sweet. I love that. Really cool touches. So now that we've got everything, I think it's time to install it. I just want to point out one more time how cool this looks. I absolutely love this filter. Okay, and just to point out, it does come with all the hardware you need. You've got your worm clamps here, you've got your fittings, you've got the silicone coupler that's going to go onto your throttle body, and of course, You have instructions, but I'm gonna pretty much walk you guys through this. Now, before you start, you're gonna wanna go ahead and turn off the ignition and disconnect the negative battery cable. Disconnect the IAT sensor electrical connection and loosen the hose clamp that secures the intake plenum to the throttle body. Loosen the hose clamp that secures the intake hose to the intake plenum and then disconnect the hose. Unhook the intake plenum from the mounting post, then the throttle body, and remove it from the engine. Now, when you remove your intake plenum from the throttle body, you also want to remove this hose right back here. It's got a quick connect that you need to press. Just like that, it comes off. So it's going to be from underneath. You're going to want to push up on it. Push up on it. It's going to take some force, and this clip is going to spread open, then you can pull it off. But make sure you don't rip this out. Lift the air filter housing up to dislodge it from the mounting post and then remove it. Remove the 4 mounting grommets from the factory air filter housing and install them into the K&N air filter housing. Install the K&N air filter housing back into the vehicle. Now, when you install the air box, you just want to make sure that the posts are protruding through all 4 of the grommets to make sure it's nice and sturdy. Install the provided coupler onto the throttle body with the hose clamps. Next, you're going to want to assemble the provided CCV hose, the fittings, and the clamp, just like you see here. Install the CCV hose assembly into the K&N intake tube as shown. Install the K&N air filter into the K&N air filter housing. Remove the IAT sensor from the factory intake plenum, remove the O-ring from the sensor, and then install it into the K&N intake tube with the provided grommet. Install the intake tube into the air filter and then into the coupler on the throttle body. Adjust the tube for the best fit and secure with the hose clamps. Connect the CCV hose quick connect fitting into the factory CCV fitting. Reconnect the IAT sensor. Reconnect your negative battery cable and make sure everything is tight before starting your vehicle. All right, guys, I was actually compelled to clean my engine bay a little bit because of how good this intake looks in here. And then the rest of the engine bay is disgusting, so it makes the intake look bad. But I am absolutely in love with not just how much it cleaned up the engine bay, but again, how simple and clean and good it looks. This is not just a functioning product, it is a good looking intake. I love it when stuff looks good. And the fit, finish, and quality, top notch. Can't compare. I mean, again, if I wasn't filming this video, I would have probably been done installing this in about 10 minutes. You need minimal tools. Everything goes right into place like the way it should. That makes me super happy. All right, the first thing that I'm going to point out is just the box with the filter and the new stripes all installed look absolutely banger. I love the way this looks. And again, they took the time to make sure there was clearance with these AC lines and the design of this box. So, I mean, look at that. That was very thoughtful. I didn't even realize that was there when I first opened it up. Again, love how this is open, but also just enclosed all the way on the route, on the sides right here. And I love the way this intake looks. That is, again, everything looks so good. Branded, all this looks really tough. Earlier I mentioned that I liked the way the box was textured as well as the intake tube, because my bumper is also textured like that with Raptor liner, as you can see. So to me, maybe I just got lucky. That texture and this texture match, and I love it when you can bring underhood elements and tie them in with exterior elements. All right, the look of it is cool and all, but obviously we're after performance, and I'm about to crank it up for the first time so we can actually hear the intake. So I'm actually gonna take my microphone off and place it here so we can pick up the correct audio. Dude, you can totally hear it even when you turn it off. That is sick. That is sick. All right, so where's the mic? I really do hope this picked it up, because I can hear, even when I turn it on, I can hear the suction of the intake, if you will, and when you rev it, you can hear it. Now, can I feel any horsepower? I don't know. We're gonna have to drive it. Now, something about just hearing new car parts that make noise is always so exciting. So yeah, that makes me happy. I mean, at this point, I basically have a Hellcat. It sounds that good. I'm joking. No, I'm happy with it. That sounds so good. No check engine lights. Everything's baller. hell yeah, the only thing left to do now is to drive it. I'm still so happy with the way this thing looks. I had no intentions of adding an intake to the Drift Mustang, but I have some other engine plans for that. But this might make me change my mind, because this looks good and it sounds good. So let's go for a drive. All right, now before I get into my test drive, I do want to talk about the horsepower numbers. You do get this sheet and it says horsepower guaranteed, and you get another sheet which is actually the K&N Engineering DynoJet research, and it gives you the information of the vehicle that was tested. This is my first time reading this. So run title, stock 2016 Ram 1500 with a 3.6 liter V6. Some run notes, baseline stock run, 126,934 miles is what their test vehicle has. Mine has 68,000. And they did a second year run, and they tested this in September of 2024. And we have here the base run is going at 158.21. That's not much. And when we talk about torque, we're looking at 137.86. Now, post cold air intake installed, part number 50-1564, which is what we do have. Again, same mileage, 126,934 miles, second gear run, the same day it was ran with the intake installed. We see a 14.66 horsepower increase from 158 to 172, and a 25 pound-feet of torque increase from 137 to 163. So again, vehicles are similar. You might get different numbers, ambient temperatures, you know, barometric pressures, you name it. I've seen so many dyno videos where they can change horsepower or dyno numbers just by changing the temperature of the sensors. But again, they actually take similar vehicles, they install the kit, they do before and after test, and that's how they get their numbers. Now, I don't think I'm gonna feel a 14 horsepower difference, but what I am curious about is, will my gas mileage go up? So I'm interested in gas mileage, which now it's completely reset because I removed the negative battery cable. Throttle response is a big one for me as well. And let's see if we can feel a little bit of that horsepower. Now, the last thing I'm gonna point out in my driving test here is I'm still running those pre-owned mud boggers. And boy, do they make some noise. But they are super heavy as well, which is how we ended up here today. I wonder if you can hear all that on camera, because I could definitely hear it and feel it. Oh yeah, there's a difference already. And I can hear the intake sucking in the air. That's so cool. Oh, I'm such a nerd. It's the little things in life. I need to get one of these intakes for the Power Wagon. Thing's got a 6.4 Hemi in it. I'm cruising at 30 miles an hour. Oh yeah. Okay, there's a difference. Okay, there's a clear difference. Dude, what? Dude, it sounds more badass now too. Yes. That's crazy, dude. That is wild. They had no right making this that good. This feels like a whole new truck. Dude, I'm so happy now. This is basically the truck I wanted to buy when I bought this. I'm happy. I'm gonna do another hit here. That sounds so different. It sounds so good. Oh yeah. Dude, it's so loud. Yeah. So you can feel 14 horsepower. Man, I feel like it's more. I feel like they're downplaying that. But I don't know. Don't come at me in the comments. Dude, I'm just happy at how I'm just happy with all of it. I'm actually quite surprised. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty surprised. This is the best errands run I've done in a long time. When you get to do errands and test new car parts, it is a good day. From a dig. Oh yeah. Dude, what the hell? That completely woke this truck up. I don't know why. I also want to point out, this dude in a BMW is like trying to race me or something. I don't know what's going on. But he can have it. He can have it. See you later, bud. Yeah, it like woke this truck up. I also want to point out, I want to be completely fair and transparent. I never once changed out the filter on this truck when I got it. So it could have been a little dirty, but I doubt it would have done what this intake is doing. I have a feeling my current mileage is going to be all over the place now. I know I literally just mentioned that I was curious about the fuel mileage, but as I'm driving this now, I think fuel mileage is going to be an issue because I like the way it sounds and how responsive it is. That makes me so happy. If you have a 3.6 liter Pentastar V6 Ram 1500 and you're thinking about getting in it, it's like, dude, yes, throttle response is there. This is exactly what I was looking for. I'm not gonna lie, this thing kind of felt like a pig getting on the highway or even trying to pass another car. Throttle response for me is like a huge thing, and the fact that I didn't have to tune this thing makes me super happy. I did the exact same thing on the Drift Mustang, FYI. All I did was install a K&N drop-in air filter, cleaned out the throttle body, and I was able to get some throttle response back. So super happy. That's a huge factor for me. I don't even care about the gas mileage anymore. All right, guys, I am back from my test drive, and I have to admit this has been the best day ever, because it's not very often that I do mods that are this fast and I get like the immediate satisfaction of the modification. So I'm super stoked. I'm super happy. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. I want to give a huge shout out to K&N for partnering with me and helping me get my hands on this next gen cold air intake system for the Ram. Now, I'm not going to say that it's absolutely necessary, but it makes the driving experience just 10 times better. So if you have a V6 Ram, 10 out of 10, highly recommend. Now, I've been using K&N products pretty much since high school. Like, I had a bunch of supercharged Grand Prix. Currently in my Drift Mustang, I have a drop-in air filter, nothing crazy, because I have some other plans for that car, but I've always used K&N. So to partner with them for the first time on this Overland build is just super, super exciting. So thank you so much, K&N, and thank you guys for watching. If you got any questions on your install or any other follow-up questions on how the truck feels, just let me know in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe, because the next time you see this truck, we're gonna be going on some adventures. Besides that, we got some drift adventures coming up. So I just got my hands on new oil filter. I've always used the K&N oil filters. Super easy to install. Fresh oil change on this bad boy, fresh fluids all around, and back to the drift events. So can't wait. That's it for me, guys. All right, see you in the next video. Until next time, peace out.